He stole $250 million and then took the passwords to his grave. Imagine keeping your life savings in what you believe to be the most secure vault in the world. Now imagine that the only person who holds the key to that vault dies suddenly on the other side of the planet. And with him, $250 million vanish. This isn't a Hollywood script. This is exactly what happened with QuadrigaCX, Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange. Its young and charismatic founder, Gerald Cotten, supposedly died from complications of a stomach illness while on his honeymoon. The problem is, he took the passwords to the digital wallets holding the funds of over 115,000 investors to his grave. But when investigators, lawyers, and thousands of furious victims brought the case to court, what began as a medical tragedy quickly morphed into one of the most brazen Ponzi schemes of the 21st century. Today, on Courtroom Reality, we unravel Gerald Cotten's empire of lies. Did he really die? Or did he fake his death to pull off the perfect crime? The Architect of Deception. To understand the sheer magnitude of this scam, we have to go back to 2013. Bitcoin was still an experiment for a select few, and buying it was incredibly complicated and risky. That's when Gerald Cotten appeared. Unassuming, always wearing simple sweaters and a friendly smile, Cotten founded QuadrigaCX. His promise was simple, to make investing in crypto as easy as opening an email account. And it worked. As the cryptocurrency market exploded in 2017, QuadrigaCX became a giant. They were processing hundreds of millions of dollars. Gerald Cotten bought private jets, yachts, private islands, and luxury real estate around the world, all funded by the blind trust of his customers. But in the financial world, when things seem too good to be true, the courtroom is usually the final destination. QuadrigaCX had a dark secret, one that violated the golden rule of any financial institution: the separation of powers. The cracks and the market crash. In early 2018, the crypto bubble burst, the price of Bitcoin plummeted, panic gripped the market, and QuadrigaCX users rushed to withdraw their money. This is where the nightmare begins. Weeks passed, then months. Customers requested their withdrawals, but the money never arrived in their bank accounts. Gerald Cotten and his team began sending emails with increasingly elaborate legal and financial excuses: banking issues, frozen accounts, administrative delays. Cotten even blamed traditional banking institutions for conspiring against cryptocurrencies. The reality, which would later be revealed under oath, was far more sinister. There were no technical issues. There were no banking delays. There simply was no money. The fatal trip and the mystery of the case. Just as legal and investor pressure threatened to destroy the company, Gerald Cotten took a trip to India, supposedly to open an orphanage. Days after arriving, on December 9, 2018, his sudden death from complications of Crohn's disease was announced. The personal tragedy soon became a massive financial catastrophe. Cotten's widow, Jennifer Robertson, filed an affidavit with the court that left the entire world frozen. In the official document, she stated, "The laptop computer from which Gerry carried out the company's business is encrypted. I do not know the password or recovery key." Overnight, 115,000 people discovered that $250 million were, theoretically, trapped forever in cyberspace. Public outrage was immediate. On internet forums, a theory began to gain traction, one that defense attorneys would eventually have to face in court. Gerald Cotten wasn't dead. He had orchestrated an exit scam. The courtroom reality and the forensic audit. The case reached the Nova Scotia Supreme Court. The judge appointed the prestigious auditing firm Ernst to track down the cold wallets and recover the funds. After months of reverse engineering and legal battles, investigators managed to penetrate Cotten's secret vaults. What they presented to the courtroom was the biggest twist in this entire story. The wallets weren't locked with millions of dollars inside. They were completely empty. And they hadn't been emptied on the day of his death. They had been empty for months. Securities regulators released a devastating 33-page report that shifted the case's classification from a tragedy to a white-collar crime. Gerald Cotten was operating QuadrigaCX as a pure Ponzi scheme. He created fake accounts on his own platform under names like Audit or Richard Margolyes. He deposited millions of dollars in fake, unbacked money and used it to buy real cryptocurrency from his own clients. Cotten was a compulsive gambler who lost over $100 million day trading on other exchanges. When people deposited money into Quadriga, they weren't buying Bitcoin. They were funding Cotten's lavish lifestyle and paying off older investors. The final verdict. The QuadrigaCX case is a brutal testament to what happens when corporate arrogance meets a lack of regulation. Although the investigation concluded that Cotten likely did pass away in India, thousands of his victims are still demanding the exhumation of his body, refusing to believe that justice can be so easily evaded by death. Cotten's widow surrendered $12 million in assets to the court, but the rest of the money has simply vanished. This paper empire built by a young prodigy leaves us with a harsh lesson from the financial courts. In the digital Wild West, not your keys, not your coins. Do you think Gerald Cotten is really dead? Or did he pull off the perfect scam and is still enjoying his millions somewhere in the world? Leave your verdict in the comment section below. If this case shocked you, don't forget to subscribe to Courtroom Reality and drop a like on this video so we can keep bringing you the world's biggest legal cases and frauds. Until the next session.